Muteba Zahida as the first speaker from Pro Team.
Hello, my name is Rifki Pramulya as pro speaker number 2.
Hi, I'm Wahyu Indriani. I'm the first speaker from Contra team.
Hi, I am Reski, the second speaker on the Contra team.
The construction of Indonesia's new capital, Ibu Kota Nusantara, IKN, is a strategic solution to address the growing problems in Jakarta, such as overpopulation, severe traffic congestion, and environmental degradation. Jakarta, home to over 10 million people, is sinking at a rate of up to 25 centimeters per year due to excessive groundwater extraction and is highly vulnerable to flooding. This challenge makes Jakarta unsustainable as the country's long-term administrative center. By relocating the capital to East Kalimantan, the government can ease the pressure on Jakarta and improve the quality of life for its residents. Additionally, IKN is designed to be a smart and green city, incorporating renewable energy and eco-friendly technologies to reduce carbon emissions, promoting sustainable development. The project will also spread economic growth more evenly across Indonesia, shifting focus away from Java and helping to reduce regional inequality.
When we look at the legal formation in the IKN Law Number 3 of 2022, it prioritizes equitable economic development in all regions in Indonesia. But in reality, this regulation does not see how development can actually not only be aimed at economic development alone. In the general explanation of the IKN law, it is stated that the formulation of the IKN law is an effort as a regulatory basic that can fulfill expectation for an ideal form of national capital as form sustainable development agenda for urban areas stated in the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, which realize cities and organizations that are inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable by 2013. However, if we look at the development in the IKN project location, it certainly does not realize this noble goal. This is in line with what Swiss solution countries and industry research explained that the construction of the IKN will face environmental risks. Of course, this is based on the fact that Kalimantan province is famous for its resources where the orangutan population is increased due to the threat of deforestation. With the development of IKN, of course, there will be a lot of need for transportation route infrastructure will, which will further damage the environmental because the area around the IKN location is experiencing quite large deforestation.
The construction of Indonesia new capital Ibu Kota Nusantara or IKN is a strategic solution to address the growing problems in Jakarta such as overpopulation, traffic congestion, and environmental degradation. Jakarta, home to over 11 million people of 2024, in sinking at the rate of up to 25 centimeters per year due excessive groundwater extraction and is highly variable to flooding. This alarming situation has led to nearly half of Jakarta being submerged below sea level, making making is making stable as the country long-term administrative center. By relocating the capital to East Kalimantan, the government aims to ease the pressure on Jakarta and improve the quality of life for its residents. The new capital is designed to be a smart and green city incorporating renewable energy and eco-friendly technologies. For instance, over 65% of IKN development site ensuring harmony with and promoting new energy source.
From a consideration perspective, considering that the drafting of the IKN Law number 3 of 2022 to move the national capital from Jakarta to West Kalimantan is one of the steps for economic growth because there is uniquely quality due to the unique distribution of economic growth outside DKI Jakarta and Java Island with other regions in the unitary state of the Republic of Indonesia, of course. This is not going to of a conceivable development after the move of the national capital. The problem of flooding the traffic jams will of course recur in the following years in the new capital city. This can be seen from a number of areas in Longkali district, Pasar Regency as Kalimantan, which is an IKN buffer which around 69 kilometers from the 0 point in the Sepaku area, where flooding occurred just the day before the passing of the IKN law. The flood occurred because the buffer forest around the Tech River in the upstream area of Longkali had been converted into an oil palm plantation. This is a concern for the people of East Kalimantan. After the IKN project will of course worsen the fall condition. Of course, this will repeat in the same problem of the previous national capital in the next few years. Community around the IKN project location are also worried that they will be marginalized after the process of IKN because the community has no skill or farming. The community say that the community with human resources are unable to compete. Local community also feel dissatisfied because they were not involved in the IKN development planning process are often a profile.
While concern about flooding and marginalization in East Kalimantan are understandable, the development of IKN includes strategic planning to address such issues and create long-term benefits for the region. Unlike Jakarta, where poor urban planning has contributed to severe flooding, the construction of IKN is based on sustainable infrastructure and environmental protection. The government has committed to integrating and phase weather management systems to prevent flooding, as highlighted in the Ministry of Public Works and Housing's 2022 report, which includes plans for flood control measures like reservoirs and sustainable drainage system around the new capital. Furthermore, the government is prioritizing reforestation and the preservation of protected forests in East Kalimantan, with plans to rehabilitate over 10,000 hectares of degraded land, according to the Ministry of Environment and Forestry 2021. Additionally, the IKN project brings opportunities for skill development and economic growth in the region. The government has outlined programs to boost local human research by providing vocational training and empowering communities with new skills beyond agriculture. A 2022 report from the National Development Planning Agency, Bappenas, mentions that job opportunities in various sectors, including construction, service, and green energy, will be created as a result of IKN, helping local communities to participate in and benefit from the economic growth. Rather than marginalizing the population, IKN is intended to uplift and integrate local residents into the development process.
As the first counter speaker, I remain firm in my stand of firmly rejecting this transfer of the national capital to Arpoli capital IKN. As I firstly state, the environmental damage caused by IKN does not only impact Kalimantan, however, it has an impact on the whole of Kalimantan itself. The construction of IKN costs a lot of money because it has to bring in materials from other islands, such as Java and Sulawesi. It doesn't stop there. in the Memorandum of Understanding between the governments of Central Sulawesi and East Kalimantan in 2021. IKN requires 30 million tons of crucial stone for infrastructure development. As a result, our stone mining is carried out massively in several areas in Central Sulawesi, such as Palu, Donggala, and Sili. Of course, mining causes a decline in the quality of life and environmental in many areas. Every day, this covers the village and the Trans-Palu Donggala route, so people have to cover their houses daily. This is, of course, proof of the many ironies caused to the environment by the construction of the IKN. Data shows that 45% of the land is green space and 100% of the energy needs will be supplied by renewable energy such as solar and wind power to build a smart future for a city, which is said to be environmentally friendly. However, in fact, glaciers actually damage the environment because they are built with materials that are very damaging to the environmental and have an impact of the health of the population. Once again, the IKN project must be stopped before environmental damage to other areas increase. I invite to the elected president to pay attention on this matter.
Conclusion from this conclusion, this project is expected to spread economic growth more evenly across Indonesia. Currently, Java contributes approximately 80% of Indonesia gross national domestic product or GRDP, leading to significant regional inequality. The relocation is expected to draw investment into East Kalimantan, particularly in property and government service, thereby increasing employment opportunities and improving welfare in underdeveloped region. In summary, moving to capital to IKN not only address the pressing issues faced by Jakarta, but also promote sustainable development and regional equity across Indonesia. That's it.
Of course, the existing equal economic growth in our regions will not be resolved simply by moving the national capital. The transfer of the national capital from Jakarta to East Kalimantan, of course, required a more in-depth study or other social aspects and several existing problems because the aim of moving the national capital as stated in the general explanation of the IKN law is to create a settlement the inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable in 2020 will not be achieved if existing risks are not taken into account. Of course, this must take into account the environmental risk at the IKN location so that similar problems do not occur in the all national capital DKI Jakarta because there are several pillars of sustainable development, namely economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability, which show that all there must work in balance. This is intended so that development is not a threat in the conventional development model, which emphasizes economic growth, only the ignores social and environmental development.